Hey everyone, some more things from my latest haul, ultra huge haul from Nars. Got something from Tarte, got something from Lorac. I have everything on today. And the Kevyn Aucoin, the Neo setting powder, that new setting powder set that is 3-in-1 palette. So let's get started. For all of you Narcissists out there, we have the Narsissist Loaded palette. Look at this nice, neutrally shiny mirrored front. I kind of appreciate this. This is a neutral palette with some warm tones going on and a few cool tones, but it's kind of got a warm feel to it. I have it on today, and I think the colors in this are absolutely so wearable and so beautiful. We have a mixture of mattes and shimmers in here, or satins. I'm going to swatch these for you. They are surprisingly consistent in the quality of the pigmentation and the quality of the feel of the actual eyeshadow. So these all actually have names. They're on the back. This is Newbury Street, Foix, F-O-I-X, Foix, Splendor, Windsor, Castile, Versailles, Privilege, Alnwick, Montailou, Dover, Beaumaris, and Real. Gorgeous pearl. This is the gorgeous pearl right here that I have on as a highlighter. I have just a little bit on. I'll show you when I walk you through the video on it. I just have a little on there. And then we have a very nice neutral peach. This color down here surprised me. I thought that was going to be one of those annoying, grainy feeling, gritty feeling, not very much there, sort of powder background, glitters. It is not at all. It is shockingly good. Look at how pigmented those are. Just putting them on my finger. I'll go ahead and do my pinky with this one up here and get those out of the way. So there's all four of those. Those four right there. The next four, good texture. There's none of them that are dry. The mattes are not dry. The glitters are not chunky glitter. There are those. This is a good palette. You can do an everyday, very light look. You can do a very stark and smoky look. I love that taupe. I love these bronzes. Really good neutral everyday palette. Just really consistent in the feel of all of these. All the mattes feel not dry and all the glitters are not annoying and scratchy. Let me show you what I did with this today. Started out in the crease with the color called Alnwick. That is an orangey tan matte. Very nice for a crease color. Really blendy on that one. Super easy to blend. Beautiful. Really liking this palette so far. For my lid, I used the gorgeous Castile. It is a metallic terracotta color. So pretty. It almost has a pink cast to it, a pink like undertone to it. It's not a super orangey orange. It's got a bit of a pinkness to it. For my highlighter, I put on the color called Privilege at first, and then I really kind of wanted to brighten it up, so I put the color called Dover, which is that white pearl. I put that just right under my brow. Outer part of my lid, I used the color called Foix, F-O-I-X. Don't know if I'm saying that right. And then the very outer corner, I put the deep espresso color called Versailles. That one is really, really nice. When I lined under my eyes with Versailles, it just blended so nicely. Sometimes with these dark pigments, if you put it, on just bare skin, basically, it's going to kind of get ashy and streaky looking. This did not do that. It blended so pretty, and the edge that blended out turned out just so pretty. Look at how blended that turned out. And then I went back over it kind of with the Foix color again. Brought that more toward my inner corner there. Look at how Dover brightens up that inner corner right there. That pearly white. Kind of want to compare this to my Jouer palette. I never did a video on this, so I did a video. I never posted it. This is the Essential Matte and Shimmer Eyeshadow Palette. A lot of the same colors. I don't know. This one is just silkier to me. I really like this Jouer one. It's really pretty, and I've done some really pretty looks with it. These are very similar, but this one is just, there's a lot of pigment to these colors. This one feels, the Jouer feels a little bit harder. This is a little bit softer. These are all, the feel of them and the texture is a little softer. So I think I like this one. I think I like it a little, maybe even a little better than my Jouer, which I've been loving. So I have on my lips today another color from the Lorac Pirates of the Caribbean line. And I like it. I like this one, I think, best of all. It's a very wearable nude. This is the dual-ended lip duos with the lipstick on one hand and the glittery gloss on the other. Now that one really looks like one of the Bite Beauty prismatic lip pearls glosses. So here's the color Risk It All. Here is the lipstick end. Got quite a bit of pink to it, doesn't it? Sort of a very pinky nude. And then here's the beautiful gloss. That one just really looks like sort of a combination of a couple of the Bite Beauty ones. There it is, glittering away. It's sort of a bronze pink shift glitter. And then on top of the lipstick, that pink glitter really pops through. You lose some of the bronze, I think, and you get the pink glitter popping out. So I got another color in my haul of the Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer, which has been my favorite concealer just since it came out. This one is called Light Sand. Now I have another color. The other color I have in it is called Light. So look at the difference here. This is light and this is Light Sand. Light Sand has a little bit of more of a neutral cast to it. Light is a little more pink. I know I've had people ask me, you know, what concealer, what color in these do you wear? What are the undertones in the various Shape Tape concealer colors? So let me show you Light on the back of my hand, and I'll show you Light Sand. For the longest time I've been using Light, but it to me can get very white on my skin, very pink, very pale pink, and just a little too light for a concealer for me. I think this Light Sand is a better one for me. Here's the comparison. So this is Light Sand and that is Light. Can you see how pink Light looks now? And I've been wearing it all this time, thinking, you know, that is just the best color because it's so light. I definitely need a super fair concealer, but I think that this Light Sand is doing a much better job. I have that on today. Here's how I put it on today. I used the Sephora Cake and Bake sponge. I am loving this sponge. This is going to be a future video, but I am loving this sponge. Lots to say about it, but it is really good for me for putting my concealer on because I really don't want to get concealer up too high on my lower lid because I have these creases right there, right under my lashes, and I don't want to really put concealer in them because then it just emphasizes them. So I really like that I can use this this sponge as a straight edge and not have to get it in those creases. So the Shape Tape, I think the Light Sand is much better. It has just the tiniest hint of yellow to it, which I think is really good to color correct the very purple circles that I have under my eyes. I think it gets a color correcting and a concealing thing going on at the same time with that color. You would never think I would be able to wear a color called sand, anything, but it works out really well, I think. Okay, I have been talking about this Kevyn Aucoin, the Neo Setting Powder, forever, and it says it is matte to glow on the back. I don't know about this one. It's kind of not matte. So let me show you how pretty the packaging. This same beautiful purple ombre packaging, the glitter. I love that. But I don't know about this powder. So what it does, let me turn down the light so you can see it a little bit better maybe. What it does is it starts out supposedly, this is a setting powder, and supposedly it starts out matte and gets a little bit more glossy and then it gets downright shimmery on the end. What you can't see really is that the matte is very sparkly. So there's a lot of sort of illumination or sparkle in this matte. I wouldn't be able to call it matte at all. In fact, I have it on up here and on my nose and my chin as the illuminating part of my contour today. I'm going to swatch the various areas of this palette, and then I'm going to show you what I did with it today. I did use it as a highlighter. I used the glittery end. It was a very ivory with a very strong pink shift, and I didn't think it really looked good with the rest of what I had on, so I went back and put a different highlighter on, but this one is still there underneath all of this. I'm going to show you the various ends here. So here's the so-called matte end. So you can't really call it matte. Let me put it on the back of my hand and you can see. It sort of has a sort of a pearly look. It's not super matte, probably not reading all that well on camera, but when I put it on my face, it is very sort of illuminating, shiny. I wouldn't want to put this over my entire face. It just is not. I don't like a super matte setting powder. I like a little bit of a dewy look or a little bit of an illumination, but this came out really sort of pearly on the skin. It's fine. I can use it definitely as part of my contour process through the various areas that I put the lighter part of a contour on. That's fine, but I can't really use it as a matte setting powder. So here's the middle. Here's the middle. It's getting more pearly and picking up some of the pink goldness. And the end is extremely, now this palette seems to have an overspray on it. And once you get through that overspray, you're kind of hitting a little bit more of a matte product on the shimmery end. So here's the shimmery / highlight end. I think what I ended up doing today was getting a lot of the overspray. You probably cannot see this, but there's like an overspray on here. You can still see some of it right through here. There's an overspray of sort of glitter, and I think I picked up a lot of that on my brush, and that's what was making it so incredibly opalescent-y and highlighty looking. You can see some of the overspray right through here as well that I did not pick up. I don't like overspray on products because that's not how the entire product is. That's not, once you get down through the layers, there's none of that in there. So if we kind of sweep this whole thing off, there's not really, it's all kind of in one. I'm going to sweep it all off and see if it's all one powder under there. I'm just going to take a brush and sweep this overspray off. Once I did that, I'm not seeing any difference. Okay, all the overspray is now gone. And this is now all one block of solid. Let me swatch these again just to make sure. I feel like that is a very cheap trick to play on me. It's much more matte now. Much more matte. The whole thing is much more matte. So now you can use it as a setting powder once you've taken the overspray off of it. What kind of sense does that make? Look at that. It's all exactly the same looking, and it's like the 3 different ends of the palette. The overspray was pretty. It made a pretty highlight. It made a highlight that kind of reminds me in the color of it of the Lorac Yellow, the new Diamond Dust Gelato Swirl, but I don't really want, I mean, I was kind of wanting it to be, you know, an ombre deal where it's matte and then shimmer at the end. I don't know, Kevin. Okay, well, I will try this again as just a setting powder next time, now that it's all more matte. Okay, next time I'm going to be showing you new beautiful palette I got from Lancome, some more lip products from my haul, and the Cake and Bake sponge, which I'm really loving, by the way. I've also got this Stellar powder. I'm really dying to try that out. I'm going to try that out with my MAC in the Flesh palette. I think it kind of lends itself to that sort of a coloring. So I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.